Last March, while I was walking along the street, I found a small plant growing in the wall crack of someone else's drainage. Looking closely, I couldn't fully identify it, but it seemed like a young papaya tree. So I pulled it out from the wall crack and brought it home to try growing it. I prepared a small black seedling pot. Even though I couldn't be certain it was a papaya yet, waiting for it to grow a little more would make it clear. I filled the seedling pot with a mix of garden soil, rice husks, and compost to make nutrient-rich soil, then planted the little plant. Since it was still very small, it would grow quickly. Soon I would know exactly what it was. The most important thing was to water the roots thoroughly. 17 days after planting, the plant had completely changed its appearance. Now I could be sure it was indeed a papaya tree. Having decided to grow it, I needed to take good care of it. First, give it a spoonful of natural organic fertilizer. Just 1 spoonful is enough to provide the nutrients it needs to grow. Since I decided to plant it, I must take good care of it. First, give the plant a spoonful of completely natural organic fertilizer. Just this amount is enough to help it absorb all the nutrients needed to grow. After a month, this papaya is growing very well, and its stem is thicker than a chopstick. The height of the plant has reached over 30 centimeters. But if you look closely, you can see small yellow spots on the leaves, indicating the soil in the pot is starting to lack nutrients. Therefore, it needs to be transplanted into a bigger pot immediately, to continue healthy growth. I found a plastic pot 4 to 5 times larger than the original, then poured in the same nutrient-rich soil as before. Then, I gently lifted the papaya out of the small pot. Now, you can see that the roots are no longer wrapped in soil. Instead, the roots have fully embraced the soil. Now we can plant it in the new larger pot so it can continue to grow vigorously. Once there is enough space in the pot, this papaya seedling can enter a rapid growth stage again. After transplanting, make sure to water thoroughly to settle the roots. Half a month later, the papaya stem was already thicker than my thumb, and its growth rate was extremely fast. When lifting the pot, you can see the roots creeping out from the drainage hole. To allow healthy and rapid growth, it needs to be transplanted into an even larger pot. This time I found a large foam box to serve as the papaya's pot. I drilled a few ventilation holes in the bottom. Although the foam box seemed large, it was just enough. Then I filled it with the prepared garden soil to continue planting the papaya. After filling half of the soil, I sprinkled a handful of chicken manure pellets as nutrients for the papaya. I placed the pot directly into the foam box and cut off the bottom with scissors. After removing the bottom half, the roots below fully spread and could extend outward. The upper half of the pot can be kept to prevent the upper roots from growing outward. Next time, when adding more soil, just remove this top half and continue filling the foam box with garden soil, ensuring the bottom roots are fully covered. Finally, water thoroughly. I hope this is a female papaya so I can enjoy the fruit I planted myself. After watering thoroughly, I hope this is a female papaya so I can enjoy the fruit I planted myself. After 90 days, the papaya pulled from the wall crack has grown about 2 meters tall, with very dense leaves. Fortunately, the tree has already started flowering, and I also saw small fruit forming, which means I can eat my homegrown papaya this year. At this point, the bottom roots have fully developed, so the upper half of the pot can be removed. Next, add more soil to the foam box. Before that, add a few days worth of fruit peels into the box to compost. then cover with a layer of soil. Under the action of soil microorganisms, the peels will gradually decompose into organic matter to improve soil structure. Carbon, phosphorus, potassium, and other nutrients released will enhance soil fertility and promote root growth. After 105 days, the papaya tree has produced 4 small fruits the size of ping pong balls, and more flowers are still blooming on top. This is how the tree looks after 135 days of growth. The small papayas from before have now grown to the size of sandbags, about the size of a fist. The color of the fruit has gradually turned a richer green, and new small papayas continue to grow on the top. Now, the countdown to enjoying the fruit I planted myself has begun. The bottom of the foam box was not tall enough, so I used a few bucket lids to increase the height. I then sprinkled some base fertilizer pellets as nutrients for the tree, and added the final layer of soil. The next time I see it will be the harvest. After 180 days, the papayas on the tree have started turning yellow. Half a year after pulling the seedling from the wall crack, it has now grown into a mature, fruit-bearing tree. The sense of achievement is even greater than the joy of eating the fruit itself.